Hey, what's up and welcome back everyone to another Warzone Academy video, the series dedicated to helping you improve at Warzone through in-depth guides and gameplay. In today's video, we're taking a look at the top 10 loadouts that you need to be using in Warzone Pacific Season 2. Now, I painstakingly went through all the time to kill charts. I use these weapons in game to try to figure out the best weapons for you to use, and I can tell you that with each one of these 10 loadouts, 20 weapons, I will be more than confident potentially dropping a personal record with all of these. The meta is vast right now, whether it's from Modern Warfare to Cold War to Vanguard. We've got some amazing weapons, and a lot of them are going to be throwbacks for you that statistically line up to be the new meta in Season 2. Now, this entire channel has always been dedicated to helping you improve at Warzone, to hone your skills, and it's why I'm thrilled to announce the partner of today's video, and that is Skillshare. For those of you who don't know what Skillshare is, it is an online learning platform. Whether you're trying to learn a new skill just for fun, or potentially, like myself, learn a skill of creativity or of content creation that will allow you to pivot from your old job into something new. Skillshare will allow you to do that. You can simply go on their site, and actually the first 1,000 people that click the link down below will get 1 month free. You can go onto their site, you select all of your interests, whether it's finance, whether it's motivation, whether it's productivity, or for me, I'm actually really interested in photography. They'll provide highly produced courses in depth from professionals that allow you to pursue your passion. So I'm really interested in photography because I want to get into IRL vlogs and start shooting more IRL content. But I'm also interested in getting more productive because I've got very limited hours in my days. So getting into things like the myth of I don't have time, whether it's productivity, whether it's passion, I'm thrilled to be sharing Skillshare with this community. Once again, you can click the link down below and sign up for 1 month free. Only the first 1,000 people will get that opportunity. So make sure to click the link in the pinned comment or description, and shout out to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. Now, without further ado, let's get into the top 10 meta weapons. Now, what I will say, once again, these are all incredible weapons, and I'm going to have some honorable mentions in here to mention, but these are nuts. So let's get right into it. The very first one that I'm going to cover is 3 Modern Warfare, 3 Cold War, and then 4 Vanguard weapons, and these just kind of aren't randomly selected just to have each. They actually line up pretty dang well. So first off, we've talked about it in the past. The Growl, even though it may not have the absolute best time to kill in the game, it's pretty dang high up there when you consider the fact that when you aim down sight, it's a snappier gun than something like the Brin and the STG. So it's going to feel a lot. It's going to give you a faster, effective time to kill. On top of that, it's got basically 0 recoil. Now, I'm not going to go through a lot of these and waste your guys' time by explaining, now, the Commando foregrip reduces your lateral side-to-side recoil. You guys mostly know what's going on at this point. We've been playing Warzone for 2 years. So take your screenshots. I'll explain anything as necessary like this. If you're playing duos or trios, you might just rock a 50-round mag instead of a 60-round. Now, this is one of the fastest killing guns in the game. I think the only thing that technically kills faster than it is something we're going to mention later, a PPSH. But with the 10mm 30-round mags, it's incredible. I would only recommend rocking this for solos and duos. Otherwise, switch over to the 45-round mag, but you still have sleight of hand, so if you're finessing and you're able to get behind cover, you could still rock the 10mm and be just fine. But I'm going to have some gameplay coming out with this. I'm actually going to have gameplay coming out with all of these, so make sure to subscribe for more. Turn those notifications on. These are all pretty straightforward. You know, we kind of know our Modern Warfare builds by now, but some of the Vanguard stuff, when we have 10 attachments to get through, I might be tweaking the attachments a little bit as we get through those, and I will provide you the final builds in those future videos. But these are locked in. The Modern Warfare MP5 is back. J-God ran the numbers. It is statistically one of the fastest killing guns in the game. Moving forward, speaking of fastest killing, dude, the Fin is it. If you were playing solos and duos, I am shocked I have not been killed by this gun. Like, fastest time to kill AR in the game, I believe, period dot. I made a video on it a couple weeks ago. It's incredible. The key here is the XRK Longshot Adverse. You're going to rock the Commando foregrip, and yes, you have a limited 75-round mag, so I would limit this to solos and duos, but do yourself a favor. Rock this gun in solos or duos, or heck, if you got a full squad running this, you're going to delete people. It's a lot of fun to run. Same thing. A lot of fun to run, absolutely deleting people. The AUG 556. I personally forgot about this, but when I was running back through, running all the numbers, it stacks up as one of the absolute best sniper supports in the game, or I also classify it as an LMG support because it needs to cover that mid-range, right? Because if our main AR goes down, we need something that reaches out a little bit further. So you got two options here. You can either rock the 5.56 30 round, and if you do that, I would get rid of something like the Forge Tac. The Forge Tac gives us a faster aim down sight. So if we were to rock the 30 round, I would get rid of the Forge Tac because now we can aim down sight faster because of the smaller magazine, and then throw on something like Sleight of Hand, which will kind of cancel each other out. So if you're playing squads, I might rock the 60 round. If you're playing solos, duos, or even if you play quads really close with your team, I would rock the 30 round with the Sleight of Hand, but the time to kill is there. The medium range accuracy is there. It's a lot of fun to use. Moving forward, we have, in my opinion, still one of the best snipers in the game. I've been going back and forth in between the CAR and the SPR. Those are my top two right now. The big thing is they nerfed the Swiss hard. It flinches like nobody's business. And they nerfed the CAR too, and they gave it a lot of flinch. However, they didn't touch the focus perk. Now, I noticed it especially with the SPR, so consider these interchangeable. I had an SPR video about a week back. It's incredible how little flinch you get. I honestly hope it gets patched because I hate whenever I'm, laying down fire on a sniper and he hits my head and I die. But still very much the meta. CAR 98 and the SPR. Snappy, fast, and a heck of a lot better than any of those Vanguard sniper rifles. Speaking of guns we've forgotten about, this is exclusively solos. Maybe duos. One of the fastest killing guns in the game. I think it might be like top 1 or top 2 in terms of ARs. Like technically the Fin isn't the fastest killing AR. The AS Val kills faster, but no one's using the AS Val at range. Regardless, medium range, it fries. I've seen some weird builds for this gun online though. Do not build this out with like a 5 milliwatt and trying to build a hipfire build. No, you've got 30 rounds, boys. We got to hit those shots, right? So I'm building it for stippled grip, which helps us with a faster sprint to fire speed. I'm keeping the barrel on here because it's going to help out with that damage range because I'm using it as a sniper support. I've got the stock here that helps out with recoil control and aim down sight, not just aim down sight, and then sleight of hand because that's going to help me out as well. You can mix this up a little bit, see how you feel. Maybe get rid of the barrel, throw on a commando foregrip, maybe throw on a tac laser. This isn't a hard and fast build, but the AS Val is still incredibly powerful. All right, let's get on to Cold War. This right here is my favorite gun in the game, period. If my life was on the line or thousands of dollars were on the line, I want the XM4 in my hands. It's got incredibly low recoil, but it's got the time to kill to back it up. We recently had the $100,000 optic tournament, and the guy that won, Breadman, was using the XM4. And it's my weapon of choice as well because of the fact that it has minimal recoil, but also has incredible damage. Standard loadout here, I would recommend rocking the 45 round for solos and duos, rocking the 60 round for trios and quads. Pairing that up with the Lapa. I do not have a build for this gun, but I've watched all the numbers. I've seen you guys in my mentions nonstop. The Lapa is apparently the gun to use. Now, the barrel to use, and I'll get you guys a class loadout later whenever I end up getting this thing leveled up, is the Lapa BR Compact barrel. It's the very last barrel you get, and I can't tell you much outside of that. I would probably rock it with Tiger Team Suppress or Tiger Team Light, Bruiser Grip, Agency Suppressor, and maybe one of the mags. I'm not sure. I'll get you guys a build when I get that class fully leveled up. Now, I did miss the honorable mentions of the Modern Warfare category. Honorable mentions, SPR, right? So include SPR and CAR in there. The PKM and the RAL, the RAAL. Technically, they have some of the fastest time to kills in the game, but that's only after you've been aimed down sight. It's kind of like the Brin. The Brin's incredible, but you have to be already aiming down sight at someone to really do some damage. But the PKM and RAL technically do have some of the best time to kills in the game. And then also the Fennec. The Fennec kills incredibly quick, but I put it behind something like the MP5 and the AUG because it doesn't do enough damage per mag, and it's a little bit shakier and unwieldy. So I'll put it in there to give it an honorable mention, but it's really not there. Moving forward, we have our next Cold War guns and it's the MG82. Now, I do want to point out one thing. Be very careful. There's a glitch in the game right now. If you use this casino skin, you see how that iron sight goes back in to your sight? It's like they're trying to do a lower 1/3, you know, co-witness. But it looks terrible. So make sure when you build this class, you keep the regular skin on it. Otherwise, you're gonna have a bad time. Standard loadout here: task force, field agent grip, 125 round mag, and agency suppressor. Moving forward, I saw Swag made a video on this. I heard a lot of people talking about it. The FFAR is back. It's not back so much of like the OG Raider stock. If you guys remember the OG Raider stock, how it made your ADS movement speed insane. You'd be strafing like crazy. Unfortunately, that's not a thing anymore. But it still is beaming out in the mid-range. The time to kill, it's all still there. I rock it for a full stability, full speed. So Tiger Team with Bruiser. If you struggle with the recoil, you can throw on the field agent grip. But just keep in mind, I'm building this as a sniper support. I'm not building this as a long-range AR. So I don't care about the barrel. I don't care about, you know, recoil control. I'm trying to handle the mid to close range. So I'm rocking it with max movement speed. Moving forward into the last Cold War ones, I'll be honest, I kind of cheated on this one. I only picked one Cold War gun. I wasn't going to force it just for the sake of the video to everything to be clean. Cold War AK, incredible. I would also interchange this with the Farah. They're a tad bit below, in my opinion, the XM4, even though I think the AK technically kills quicker. The XM4 is more stable. I would put the Farah up there as well. And you guys know the standard builds on those. Once again, 45 if you're rocking it. You can rock the 60 round as well for other modes, but I prefer the 45. And then I threw on the PPSH. The OTS-9, these are kind of like honorable mentions in the Cold War category. I could have put the OTS-9. I could have put the Cold War MP5, but I would be doing you a disservice. I personally wouldn't run those, although they are great. The only really powerful meta relevant SMG right now is the Lapa. Outside of that, I'd be lying to you if I said the Cold War MP5 and the OTS. They're great, but they're not, oh my god, you have to use this, like I genuinely believe the rest of these 20 guns are. So I cheated and I threw in the PPSH. This is a full hipfire build with the Gorenko rounds, and according to JGod, the fastest killing gun in the game, period. According to his TTK chart, it stacks up right at the very top. This, granted, it's a hipfire build, so I hope you hit your shots, is the fastest killing gun in the game. Throw on the oil can silencer, throw on the hipfire barrel. The Gorenko mags are what make it the fastest killing. You can, if you want a little bit more consistent, rock the 8mm rounds. It's got a faster fire rate. It's a little bit easier to control. But for the pure meme of getting the fastest killing gun in the game, this is it. Throw on the steady grip will help you with your hipfire accuracy. Pine tar also helps you with your hipfire accuracy. Tight grip and quick help you move around faster and keep that recoil under control. Remove stock once again helps out with hipfire accuracy. And since we're running this as a hipfire, you want to throw on something that helps out a lot with your accuracy. For some unknown reason, whenever we help out our accuracy with the scopes, it actually helps out our hipfire in game. Now, if you want to kind of toe that line and still want to have an aim down sight option viable, you could rock a 2.5 times, which would still help out your accuracy and still allow you to get a decent aim down sight, even though this one, in all honesty, will be a shaker because it is a hipfire build. Now, moving on to the Vanguard weapons. I'm in love with the STG. It isn't the fastest killing gun in the game, but when you throw on the 7.62 Gorenko mags with this build, the Carver helps out the most when it comes to recoil, as opposed to the hand stop. The hand stop technically helps out because it doesn't hurt your aim down sight as much, but the Carver helps out most with recoil. Same thing with the polymer. I rock the MX silencer as opposed to the Mercury, because the Mercury hurts your damage range. The MX hurts your aim down sight. I'll aim down sight a little bit slower so I can get more recoil control, vertical and horizontal, and keep my damage range, right? Because most of the time we see someone, we aim down sight, and then we start firing. It's not like a split second slide cancel. You know, that's what happens indoors, which is why we build for aim down sight for our close range weapons. I love the 3-6. I love the precision, also because it has this really sweet skin on it. Sleight of hand, and then fully loaded. I've heard mixed things, and I know for a fact with the 8mm, it is inconsequential to run Vital. If you run Vital, yes, it technically will help you do more damage, but in terms of shot to kill, it's exactly the same because it doesn't bump you up a tier or threshold. Like, the number of shots to kill are going to be exactly the same. So you rock Sleight of Hand just to get more shots down range. I don't know if that's also the case for the 7.62. I haven't done the testing, but with that in mind, I'm just going to rock Sleight of Hand. Not only that, but Vital also hurts your recoil control and accuracy, and I want you guys to have the most solid aim down sight. Or I'm sorry, the most solid, like, beaming AR. Now, this is my absolute favorite SMG in the game right now. It is the Welgun. Like, if I were to run into a tournament, it would be XM4 Welgun. Love this gun to death, man. Recoil booster, shrouded, slate reflector, remove stock, acrobatic quick, polymer, which helps out with that that stability, that recoil control. If you really feel like you got your recoil under control, rock fabric, so it'll be even snappier, but I think it's snappy enough as is, especially with the skeletal. And then I rock the 7.62. Now, keep in mind, Incendiary has been nerfed, and it hurts your damage a lot. And on top of that, they also nerfed the rate that Incendiary damages. So just rock hollow points. It's going to hurt your damage range a little bit, but you're going to get more, you know, credit for shooting the limbs, like the arms and the legs. So I would rock hollow point. Don't rock Incendiary. One, because it hurts the damage, and two, because if you shoot me with Incendiary, I'm going to get tilted, and it's going to take me longer to plate up, and then I'm going to get upset, and yeah. All right, moving on. If you want an absolute zero recoil build, this is it. Take your screenshot. Everything in it is built around having the absolute minimal amount of recoil while still being relevant in terms of time to kill. I'm not trying to give you an M13 build here that has zero recoil, but doesn't do anything in terms of time to kill. This is the loadout I would rock. Moving forward, this is my second favorite gun right now inside of the game. Yes, I know the MP5 is great. Modern Warfare MP5 is great in terms of time to kill. I'm still in love with this. I need to try out the Modern Warfare MP5, but this is my number two with the Welgun, just barely above it. This handles the mid-range a little bit better than the Welgun, but I wouldn't want to clear out a building with anything else other than this. Next up, we have a Vanguard Sniper. Now, I am mentioning a Vanguard Sniper solely because Vanguard Royale is pretty prevalent. We have solos, duos, trios, and quads in Vanguard Royale, so I want to give you guys my favorite sniper for Vanguard. They recently nerfed pretty heavily the Kar98K's aim down sight, the Vanguard Kar98K aim down sight. And so Bartonologist, my good friend of mine and the best sniper in Warzone, in my opinion, at least in competitive Warzone, runs this. He, I believe, rocks awareness, which helps out with your sprint to fire speed because he's a demon and is like quick scoping people. I'm not that guy. I rock silent focus to help out a little bit more with the aiming stability, because this gun, when you're strafing, has a little bit of that wobble, but when you stand still, it locks in. Insane bullet velocity, and on top of that, you have a 20 round mag, so you can just, and it doesn't hurt your aim down sight that much. You can just put down a lot of fire downfield without having to reload, with a crazy bullet velocity and very, very minimal aiming stability issues. This is my favorite Vanguard sniper to date, but I would much rather have a Kar98 or a SPR in my hands. Now, this is a special gun. The Owen gun has one of the fastest time to kills in the game. If you hit all headshots, it kills in something like 330 milliseconds. It's absurd. Like, that's less than a third of a second. I died to it, and it made me fall in love with the gun, just because it made me fall in love with the gun, and it made me hate Warzone, because the fact that I can die so incredibly fast. Not going to get into it. I'll show you the clip of me dying when I release an Owen gun video. Now, key things about this: 7.62 rounds. We're rocking it more as like a sniper support, so we have that precision barrel on here, but this sight is key. You might be thinking, like, Isaac, why the heck are you rocking a variable on an Owen gun? If you rock this gun normally, your sight will be right here, and it will get blocked by this really awkward drum mag that drops off to the right side. But when you go to the variable and you press shift, or you press L3, and it bumps your aim up, your aim now goes above, and your field of view is over the top of this magazine. So you no longer have that awkward magazine on the entire right side of your screen, because you lift your head above it. That's a game changer for all the Owen gun users. And then moving on to Vanguard number 4. I really hate everything about this class. I'm sorry. It's the Bryn. Take your screenshots. You already know it. It's a 0 recoil build. It's still very relevant. I don't know. The Warzone devs have this thing in mind that if they nerf aim down sight, they'll nerf the time to kill, but that's not how it works, because if people are already aimed down sight, then the time to kill doesn't make a difference. If you're trying to rotate through an open field and they're pre-aiming, you're dead. Like, it doesn't change the time to kill. Yes, it makes the gun a little bit less snappy. That's why personally I wouldn't use it, because I'm more of a run and gun type of guy, but the Bryn still very much is meta, as much as I hate to admit it. The next thing, before I get onto this, and this is a special gun I'm going to tell you about. I rock Ghost in trios and quads, but whenever I'm playing in solos, high alert is key. I know a lot of people are rocking cold-blooded, which technically counters high alert, but it saves my life so much because of people hiding in bushes, like camping inside of doorways and windows. High alert is I cannot stress it enough. I'm tempted to make an entire dedicated video to it for how many times high alert has saved my life in solos. Time to kill is too fast. It gives you that little bit of extra awareness you need. Now, this gun is disgusting. Oh, and of course, I rock stims because the finesse and the outplay is incredible. The insane slides you can do, the fact that you get more health, and then, dude, stims combined with iron trials is going to be so beautiful when that day comes. I rock Combat Scout because it's OP, and I either rock EOD or cold-blooded, depending on how I'm feeling. They buffed lethals. Lethals are really powerful, so I like EOD. Cold-blooded prevents Combat Scout, so it's kind of dealer's choice there, whatever you want. This gun is disgusting. It kills incredibly fast because it is akimbo. Now, it is a barrel stuff only type of gun. We are building it strictly as we did for the PPSH for a hip fire build. That's why we have this absolutely atrocious 4x8 times scope on there, because it helps out with that accuracy. But you have a full auto barrel. We're rocking the silencer, which hurts our aim down sight, but we don't care about our aim down sight, but it helps us out with that recoil. You could also rock the rifle break, which would help out with your accuracy, but I just like to be suppressed in general. Throw on hollow point, 18 round, 45 ACP, and you just spam, and you can delete someone so fast. I'm almost hesitant to show you guys this build because of how good it is. But ladies and gentlemen, these are the guns. Let me mention the honorable mentions one more time for the Vanguard. Cooper Carbine I would put up there also with a 0 recoil build, very similar to the Automaton. AS44 I haven't gotten enough reps in, but I know the time to kill is up there. I could see the AS44 making it in to that top echelon of ARs as well. But that wraps up today's video. If you guys learned something new, if you took some screenshots, if you liked the insight, maybe saw something new or reminded you of a gun you totally forgot about, please do me a favor, subscribe to this video, drop a like, and comment down below if I missed any, whether it was an honorable mention or on the list. If I missed it overall, let me know, so hopefully I can do some research on it, figure out why I missed it, and make a dedicated YouTube video to it entirely. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Once again, all of these weapons I would be more than comfortable running in. No clickbait. I'm in love with these guns. Huge shout out again to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. I'm thrilled to be working with them because they encompass so much of what I do in terms of like helping you guys grow skills. Like, I learned skills outside of work through grinding in hours, and I wish I had a resource like Skillshare that I would have learned about 5-6 years ago when I first started this journey. Start your journey today. Click on the link down in the description and the pinned comment. Be one of the first 1,000 people to get a free month trial. Huge shout out again to them for sponsoring today's video, and I really hope to work with them again moving forward. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Make sure to follow me over on Twitch if you want to catch any of this gameplay live, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.